Okay, what we're gonna do now in each one of these, okay, the instructions uh, ask you to find the slope. So in the instructions for number 3, it says find the slope of this line that's given. And the key thing here is that we have 2 points. We have this point right here, and we have this point right here. Now you guys have the grid, so it's actually very easy for you guys to tell what these points are as an ordered pair, but it's really not so necessary. What you can do is you can just pick one of these points and you can move to the other point. And you just have to keep track of the fact that slope is m, written as m, which is also slope is the same thing as rise over run. And if you know, as long as you know that when you rise, if you go up, it's positive, and if you go down, it's negative, then you're okay. And run, if you go to the left, it's negative, and if you go to the right, it's positive. So let's see how I can move from one point to the next and just keep track of the rise over run. So it doesn't matter which one I pick as my start. I could start at this point. Let's see, how much do I have to go down? I have to go down 1, 2, 3. So I went down 3, that means I had a rise of negative 3. And then I still have to move over to the left to get to this point. So I gotta go 1, 2 to the left to get to the other point. And then that's, again, 2 to the left. It's negative if you run to the left. Negative over negative is positive, and your slope is 3 over 2. And you could have went from the other point, you could have went from this point to this point. Doesn't matter. Like, if I go, I could have, well, I could just say rise over run again. And then I could say, let's see, I gotta run how much? 1, 2. So I ran 2 to the right this time. I went from here to here. So I ran to the right, that's positive 2. And then how much do I have to go up? 1, 2, 3. And then my rise is 3. I went up 3, it's positive 3. In either case, I get the same slope for this line, 3 over 2. Okay, now it asks us to find the slope of the line given these 2 points. So now I have 2 points. Now I have to find the slope. And again, now we want to use a formula for slope. Again, m is slope, and the formula here is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now you know that you want to label these points because this formula is assuming that we have like an x1 comma y1 and then an x2 comma y2. So this is like your first point, that's why it's x1 comma y1, and then this is your second point, that's why it's x2 comma y2. Doesn't matter if you called this point the second point and call it x2 y2, but if you call this x2, then you gotta call this y2, and if you call this x1, then you gotta call this y1. I'm saying that this is my first point over here, so I'm putting it with 1s. I'm saying that this is my second point, so I'm putting it with 2s, but again, it won't matter if you say that this is your first point. Now you just plug in. So what's y2? Where's y2? Well, y2 is this value right here, which is negative 7, minus y1. Well, what's y1? y1 is 12. So you're going to do negative 7 minus 12, and then x2 is negative 13. So I'm going to put negative 13 down here, minus x1. x1 is 10. Now, you guys still have trouble with the arithmetic. Take your time. Negative 7 minus 12 is negative 19. Over negative 13 minus 10 is negative 23. I do care. It's negative over negative. Know that that's the same thing as 19 over 23. This is your answer. Okay. Now the last one. It also asks you, given the equation of a line in, what form is this in? The name of this is slope-intercept form. Why is it called slope-intercept form? Because it gives you the slope and the y-intercept. This is slope-intercept form. And basically, as long as we know that slope-intercept form is y equals m times x plus b, we can simply read off what everything is here. So basically, m is going to be whatever x is being multiplied by. So in this case, m, or slope, is clearly 1/5. And this is my answer. But I just want to be clear, just to iterate again when we get to graphing, that you guys should see that b, the y-intercept, is 3. But this is the answer for this problem. You just want to find slope. They asked for the slope of this line. And your answer for that is 1/5.